Is this thing on?
No response. They didn't have one for that. Now it's very sad. Very sad. There was no response. There was no response. There was no response. There was no response.
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
There was no response. There was no response. They didn't have one for that. Now it's very sad. Very sad.
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
There was no response.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever.
And by the way, I don't think that's some grand conspiracy. I think this is sort of what power is. I mean this at a sort of high level. But I think the juxtaposition of that and the woman dancing in the shoe with the money flying at her, the juxtaposition of that versus some of the things that we've canceled recently, some of the things we have said are too dangerous to continue while we're talking about WAP, which stands for wet ass pussy, and she's got the bucket and the whole thing.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
There was no response. They didn't have one for that. Now it's very sad. Very sad. There was no response. There was no response.
I admit to always improving.
I liked beer. I still like beer. But I did not drink beer to the point of blacking out.
Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
Force the vote, sure, was a failure.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours.
There was no response.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Could we have done that sooner?
We are doing it.
But should we have done it sooner?
We are doing it.
There was no response.
Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position. You're not like.
Testing. Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic in-style-ation of the Goddamn. We're doing a show live. It is a live programmatic experience. You know, I'm going to be honest, folks. On this show, I am pro-gram. That's right. I'd like to announce that I am pro-gram, folks, because this is a goddamn program. Welcome to the program. That's it. That's all I got. So, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. But anyway, got a show going on. There's something happening. You know, there's a show, and it's happening. But I'm pro-gram. Not to be confused with the Cracker, aka Lindsey Graham, aka the Cracker. But I am pro-gram. Graham. I'm not a fan of Graham, so I'm just saying I'm pro-gram, the metrical unit of metrification. So there's a show. I'm doing a show, folks, today. This is 1480. Above it all, 1480. So it appears that, you know, next week I might have an interesting episode that I'll be doing in approximately 1 week. I'm doing a show here, folks. Bodan, hello Bodan, our live Ukrainian correspondent. Coming at us live from Ukraine. Yes. Bodan, I sent you a message. I think you replied, but I haven't checked yet. But I hopefully maybe on Friday I was thinking of doing a Doom stream. So, you know, just throwing that out there. How many programs do I consume every day? I consume one program, and then I regurgitate it and spit it all over myself, and I do that live on stream. I will read that after this program, Bodan. But the day I was thinking of was Friday. Our live Ukrainian correspondent, Bodan, has entered the chat. Including, we've got multiple chat members here. We've got Catherine in the chat. We got Mila in the chat. We got Bilb in the chat. We got Pharmaclafus in the chat. In the chat. In the goddamn. So we're doing a program here. Doing a program. And that's what's, we're doing a program. So, got that going on. And doing a program, folks. Alright, so I'm drinking myself a soy latte. I'm expressing myself. Only you can see. Please spread. I will do so. I got you. Alright, folks. Yeah, that's cool. Look at how like it blurs the stream a little bit. Whoa! Whoa, everybody! Anyway, so got a show going on. Folks, doing a show. There's lots of like I feel like I'm going to be spending a lot of time doing some like reaction content to dumb motherfuckers today, I think is what's happening. There's a lot of just really stupid idiots that are just they're roaming around. They're spreading their idiocy to other humans. And we're gonna have to deal with that. I'm not sure. I don't know. There's so much. Okay. How many elephants are in that latte? I'm not sure. I think the latte that I received that I have in my possession, I'm not sure if they use the elephant system of measurement. And so I waited for you to do reactions to people's comments. That's amazing content. I love to react to comments. I have gotten some very interesting comments lately, but nothing I don't think worthy of reaction, folks. It is 10:14 a.m. Eastern time. If you are wrapped inside the Eastern time zone of the United States of America, America, because America is a proud patriarchy, and so we're gonna be called. I don't know. So we're doing a show. I have decided that I'm going to take it upon myself to do a program. I'm doing a program. You may have noticed that there was a new introductory sequence sound apparatus and so we're gonna be going in there because I mean this is just incredible. So anyway, yep. So we're doing a show. Anyway, so Donald Trump was he did an interview with some radio show or something. I'm not sure. This is the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show. So this is Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. They got Donald Trump on their show. And Donald Trump said some words about Putin and the situation with Russia and Ukraine. And I want to tap into that real quick.
Country and put them together. I
So?
don't think they've done the damage that this administration has done.
We're talking about the wall here. Hold up.
Screened, and I said, this is genius. Putin
Here we go.
declares
Okay.
a big countries, 127 countries now they have, but many of these countries are emptying their prisons like we're a dumping ground right into our country. I've never seen anything like it. I don't think our country has ever been so low. You could take the 5 worst presidents in the history of our country and put them together. I don't think they've done the damage that this administration has done.
Mr. President, in the last 24 hours...
Okay, so here he was asked about Russia and Ukraine, and he makes some very interesting comments about Vladimir Putin. Now, obviously, we know at this point, it's pretty much common knowledge that Donald Trump is a Russian asset. Let's be real here. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest, folks. I don't know. Let's be... Okay. The idea that Donald Trump is not a Russian asset to me is hilarious. But in order for this to be a statement of fact here, we need to define what a Russian asset is. It's very simple. Does that mean like Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are meeting in the back rooms every 15th Sunday and smoking cigars and planning on taking over the world? No. But what that means is Putin feels like he controls Donald Trump and that Donald Trump will do what he wants. And that's pretty much, I feel like that's been evident by a lot of this, a lot of what Trump has been doing, especially because he's got significant business dealings in Russia with Russian oligarchs. We also still very curious as to what Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin were talking about in their secret meetings, where Donald Trump told the translators to tear up the notes for their secret meetings. So I'm very curious about that. There's a lot I'm very curious about, but I think it's fair. I think it's very fair to say that Donald Trump is a Russian asset. Does that mean he supports Russia unequivocally 100% of the time? No, but that means as far as the chessboard is concerned, pieces on the chessboard, I feel like Putin has Trump pretty much wrapped up within his hands, and I think that that's fair to say. But so here's Donald Trump talking about Putin's maneuvers when it comes to Ukraine. So let's listen. Again, this is on the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show.
As we know, Russia has said that they are recognizing 2 breakaway regions of Ukraine. And now this White House is stating that this is an invasion. That's a strong word. What went wrong here? What has the current occupant of the Oval Office done that he could have done differently?
Well, what went wrong was a rigged election. And what went wrong...
Folks, I would like to remind everyone that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Joe Biden won the 2020 election, and that is why Joe Biden is president. He won the election. Donald Trump is a loser. He's a crybaby. He's a loser, and he will always be a loser, and he lost. So factor that into what he's about to say.
It's a candidate that shouldn't be there and a man that has no concept of what he's doing. I went in yesterday, and there was a television screen, and I said, this is genius.
Okay, so I wanted the storytelling of Donald Trump. Quote, I went in yesterday and there was a television screen. I might need to clip that as well. That's honestly really funny. I went in yesterday and there was a television screen. Okay.
Rigged election, and what went wrong is a candidate that shouldn't be there and a man that has no concept of what he's doing.
Again, folks, Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. The election was not rigged. That is fake news, as they would say. But again, so Donald Trump went in, and then when he went in, where he went in, we don't know. All we know is that when he went in, there was a television screen. So.
I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, this is genius. Putin.
So, I'm sorry. I'm addicted to the cringe. Okay. Yesterday I went in and there was a television screen and I said, "This is genius." I'm like, stripped of the context. That's amazing, right? Like, I'm sorry.
Screen, and I said, "This is genius."
I'm sorry. Please just bear with me.
Be there, and a man that has no concept of what he's doing. I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, "This is genius."
I gotta clip that. Oh, okay. All right.
Putin declares a big portion of the Ukraine. Putin declares it as independent. Oh, that's wonderful. So Putin is now saying it's independent, a large section of Ukraine. I said, how smart is that? And he's going to go in and be a peacekeeper. That's the strongest peace force. We could use that on our southern border. That's the strongest peace force I've ever seen. There were more army tanks than I've ever seen. They're going to keep peace all right.
I love how Donald Trump is like, why is this? This is something that I feel like it's weird that Donald Trump is saying this on a podcast that's public. Like, why would you ever say this out loud? I mean, like, yes, it's great strategy. Like, if we're playing fucking like Civilization or something, we're playing like a real-time fucking strategy game. Yeah, it's great fucking strategy, but it's also imperialist warmongering garbage. And also, we should do that on our southern border. Is he advocating to invade Mexico? Like, what the fuck? This guy is off his rocker. But again, so I'm going to start from the top here. So he went in. Where he went in, not sure. But he went in, and then saw a television screen.
A big portion declares it.
Hold up. Oh, no, we're getting that infinite buffering bullshit.
Has no concept of what he's doing. I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, this is genius. Putin declares a big portion of the Ukraine. Putin declares it as independent. Oh, that's wonderful. So Putin is now saying it's independent, a large section of Ukraine. I said, how smart is that? And he's going to go in and be a peacekeeper. That's the strongest peace force. We could use that on our southern border. That's the strongest peace force I've ever seen. There were more army tanks than I've ever seen. They're going to keep peace all right. No, but think of it. Here's a guy who's very savvy. I know him very well, very, very well. By the way, this never would have happened with us. Had I been in office, not even thinkable. This would never have happened. But here's a guy that says, I'm going to declare a big portion of Ukraine independent. He used the word independent. And we're going to go out and we're going to go in and we're going to help keep peace. You got to say that's pretty savvy. And you know what the response was from Biden? There was no response.
Oh, no.
They didn't have one for that.
Folks, I can't with this. This part here, I clipped this part because this is the part that I heard earlier. Why does he say it like that? There was no response. Like, he sounds like a fucking cartoon.
What the response was from Biden? There was no response.
What?
They didn't have one for that. No, it's very sad. Very sad.
Do you think the southern border is just going to...
So Donald Trump here, now again, there's a lot of cringe in this interview, and maybe I'll look at more of the cringe tomorrow. But I wanted to talk about his statement on Putin. Yeah, sure, is it savvy? If you're playing like a real-time strategy game, and it's like you're playing fucking, whatever... and the whole point of a real-time strategy game is it's imperialism, but fun, because it's a video game, and war doesn't kill real people, it kills video game people that don't actually exist, right? And so, but here we have a situation where, again, this is a former president basically endorsing another enemy superpower, regardless of whether or not you think Russia and the United States should be enemies. Personally, I think the idea of war is dumb. I think borders are stupid. The idea of invading someone, how is that even possible? Oh, you're in their border. What's a border? I don't know. The whole thing is just made up garbage. It's a way for a bunch of actual grown adults to, instead of playing video games, right, like a normal person, they play video games, except they kill regular people for fun and entertainment. It's just the modern version of the gladiator bullshit where you throw someone in a fucking den of lions, right? It's, a bunch of toxic, fucking angry white men yelling at each other and using guns and tanks and nuclear bombs instead of playing Halo like real men. But anyway, again, very strange though for a former president to be endorsing the strategy of an enemy of the country. Now again, You can make your own value judgment on whether or not Russia should be an enemy. I would probably agree more than disagree on that. But again, either way, he's basically saying, yeah, they did a really good job. Also, it wouldn't have happened if I were there. Huh. Why is that, though? Why wouldn't it have happened? I don't know. That's strange. He doesn't go in on that. But again, I think it's very interesting that the former president is endorsing like the imperialistic invasion of another country by Russia and Vladimir Putin. Very strange. Very, 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 very strange behavior. Again, this is on the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show. They did about a 30-minute interview with Mr. Trump. There was no response. I'm like, what is that? Like, I'm sorry, but like, what the fuck? Like, what is that?
There was no response.
Oh, what the hell? Adversary is a better word, possibly. That's fair. That's a fair critique. The size of that mobile artillery, keeping the peace my ass. Only nukes will stop him. Well, I'm not necessarily convinced that nuclear wars is what we should be aiming for sure. But yeah, so Donald Trump, no good. No good. Folks, there's so much fucking bullshit going on in the world. I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin. Okay. Ooh. Yep, I'm gonna be talking about the People's Party. Ew, the People's Party, man. I'm trying to get comfortable. And it's not easy. All right. So we're doing a show. I got a show going on. Okay, so we're doing a show. Okay. Jen Psaki says, binge watching The West Wing got her back into politics. Yep, cringe. That is cringe. Now that's what I call cringe. Very cringe. Alright, so we got... I'm looking for the show. So much. I'm a mess lately with my organization. I'm a mess. I'm a mess with my fucking organization. My organization, no good. Okay. All right. So I want to read as much of this as I can get through until I get bored. But I can try wrapping up the details here. I claim to have organization. Yes. Yes. Doing a show. Got a show going on. All right. It's okay to be a mess sometimes. Yeah, how about all the time? I'm a mess, folks. I'm a mess. Look at me. I've got 2 cardigans on. Is this like a style? Look at that. I got 2 of them. Look, so I got a shirt, and then I've got 1 layer of cardigan, and then I got a second one, right? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. This is fashion. I'm breaking barriers here. And so I'm breaking barriers here. So anyway, speaking of breaking barriers, So, folks, I have been very critical of the movement for a People's Party since I've heard of this party, but mostly also they've been doing a kind of like a second tour. The People's Party did a cringe tour after the 2016 election, and then around after the 2020 Democratic primary, they started up a second iteration of their cringe tour. And so basically ever since that second iteration of the cringe tour, what they did is they did a People's Party convention in the summer of 2020, and it was basically just a podcast and a fundraising scheme. And then later on that year, they came up with the Force the Vote conspiracy theory, and they continued to fundraise off it. Force the Vote was nothing but a fundraising scheme. It was a grift. It was a stupid conspiracy theory that would basically get people that are rightfully disillusioned with the two-party system, especially the Democratic Party. I hate the Democratic Party. Not a fan at all, right? So it takes people's rightful anger at that system and basically turns it into a waste of time, energy-sucking fundraising machine. And so yesterday I covered Status Coup, has been releasing a lot of stuff about this. Apparently, a lot of people have been going to Status Coup to expose the People's Party. I'd like to say, if anyone wants to expose the People's Party on my show, feel free to hit me up, because I'm down. They basically kind of confirmed that Nick Brana, again, someone who, like 4 or 5 times in this new iteration of the People's Party, again, the 2020 version of the People's Party, right? The post-2020 Force the Vote conspiracy version. Oftentimes when Nick Brana feels like he's losing control within the People's Party National Board, he will just fire everyone that disagrees with him. That started happening again earlier this week. Paula Jean Swearingen, probably the most high-profile grab for the People's Party, quit and basically publicly started trashing them a couple of days ago. And now it turns out Status Coup has an update to this story. And it turns out the Movement for a People's Party National Chair Nick Brana was under investigation for alleged sexual harassment. Board members purged. So again, folks, Jordan Chariton did a live stream about this that I watched on 2x speed. And so I have a little bit of the details here. But again, this is like a cycle. The People's Party has been doing this since 2017. They get a bunch of people that are really energized, and then they kind of waste their time, use them for fundraising, steal all the money, and then fire them. And then it's just like, honestly though, like this is like, it's a pyramid scheme. Like this is like it's a Ponzi scheme. I mean, you bring people in as volunteers to do free work, free advertising for your party. You get people to fundraise. And again, also another thing, Nick Brana's dad is the fucking Treasury Secretary of the People's Party. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, man. Like, just like, let's assume all the best intentions here. Let's assume Nick Brana and his dad are great people and they weren't grifters, right? That's still a bad look. Why would you want your dad to be the fucking Treasury Secretary? Again, they spent $20,000 on a logo that they never materialized. They sent a graphic design company $20,000 to make them a new logo, and they still use the old logo that they've been using since 2017. Another thing is, how did the People's Party start? Who is Nick Brana? Nick Brana is someone that apparently was a volunteer on the Bernie Sanders campaign in 2016, and then he lied about being like a super high-level position in the Bernie campaign. He lied about getting like kicked out and canceled, and that's his like fake origin story. This guy has been lying since the jump. The guy is a liar. This is a pyramid scheme. This is a Ponzi scheme. The Movement for a People's Party is fucking stupid. And also, I just want to say, I called it the whole time. I just, like, am I allowed to say that? Like, you know, I've dealt with all these fucking loser, moron, grifter weirdos, and they're like cult of fucking cringe lords saying, oh, you don't support Force the Vote, you're not a real leftist. The whole fucking thing was a grift. Force the Vote was their fundraising grift strategy so that they could wheel people in with Jimmy Dore's program into the People's Party. They could fundraise. Again, who controls the money? Nick Brana and his father. So then they have volunteers for the People's Party that they don't allow to do any work, and then they basically the whole volunteer process of the People's Party is just free advertising. They have a bunch of people pretend and want to do work, and then whenever they get close to actually filing to become a party, Nick Brana steps in and stops them, right? It's just free advertising. That's his advertising arm, are volunteers for the organizing apparatus. And then again, he wheels that all into fundraising. He controls the coffers, and he probably uses that for money laundering. I mean, where did that $20,000 go? Right? I'm very curious, right? Who owns that graphic design company that he apparently donated to? But again, it came out also that he's been under investigation for sexual harassment, this Nick Brana character. And again, Status Quo has this whole thing. I would recommend reading this and watching the live stream if you want more in-depth analysis on what's going on here. But basically, the board is constituted of 10 people, 8 of which are not Branas. So 20% of the board are Branas. That's weird. That's strange. Personally, 0% is ideal. But anyway, so Nick Brana was essentially, to my understanding here, and again, the full details have yet to come out. Apparently, someone is who Nick Brana was harassing is going to make a statement on this at some point soon, according to Status Quo. But anyway, so Nick Brana has been under investigation for sexual harassment over the last couple of months, and basically everyone who was investigating him came to the conclusion, yeah, this guy's basically a really fucking creepy motherfucker, but also he's the chair of the board, so what are we gonna do? Let's propose some extremely milquetoast compromise. Like, he was supposed to go to, like, 6 months of sexual harassment sensitivity training or something. Like, I'm sorry, if I found out the board or the main organizer and the main public face of my organization was a fucking sexual harasser, you know what I would do? I would leave instantly. But they went in there, they compromised, sunken cost fallacy. I get it, it happens. You know, you put in so much effort, you don't want to see it fail. So they basically suggest, hey, Nick Brana, you want to go to 6 months of sensitivity training? Nick Brana's like, nah. And he fires everyone. He fired, I think he fired like almost everyone except for a couple members. So now the board only has like 2 or 3 or 4 people left. And again, now the board is like half Nick Brana and his dad, right? So that's interesting. He basically bans anyone from the Slack, and also any organizing tools from criticizing him ever. Now again, Nick Brana has not made a statement on this, but it's very interesting that the People's Party, again, I told you this in December of 2020 when Force the Vote started. When Nick Brana and Jimmy Dore started doing this Force the Vote shit, I told you this is nothing but a grift. This Nick Brana guy is a fucking grifter snake oil salesman, and the only thing that they're doing is fundraising. They are fundraising off of people's rightful dissatisfaction, and they're pointing them in a direction that's going to cause a lot of harm. And that's exactly what happened. You still see people, again, almost, like, what is it, like a year and a half later, still peddling the Force the Vote conspiracy theories. Again, Force the Vote was not a strategy. It was not a movement. It was a very specific criticism of the squad, which, again, I agree with. Most people agree with. They should have had someone run for speaker. I agree with that. I do agree. That said, again, all of these conspiracies around the squad has as much power or more of Joe Manchin. The squad could get any legislation passed. You see these fools like Nico House go out there and say the squad could have gotten us Medicare for all if they wanted to, and they chose not to. Very strange stuff. So again, apparently Nick Brana, sexual harasser. Now again, I will probably cover this if Nick Brana makes a statement on this, which there's going to need to be a statement, because they are hemorrhaging support like no other. The other day, or yesterday, I guess, I watched this little podcast called The Vanguard, a very pro-Force the Vote, highly conspiratorial podcast. They love Jimmy Dore, they love Jackson Hinkle, that whole crew. At least that's so I thought a year ago. They were positioning themselves as like the Force the Vote conspiracy podcast. I saw a video from them yesterday. They made like a 25-minute video trashing the fuck out of the People's Party. It seems that they're actually switching gears here, and that's good. And my opinion is, like, when you are getting like the most, like, you know, run-of-the-mill, like, supporters of your grift conspiracy to turn against you, that's not a good sign. And where's Jimmy Dore on this? Has Jimmy Dore mentioned this? Is Jimmy Dore also a sexual harasser? Has Jackson Hinkle mentioned this? Where are these high-profile figures like Nico House? Has he talked about this? I'm not sure. I looked a little bit yesterday. I didn't see any statements, but maybe in this morning someone made a statement. But again, not so good. I think I summed up this this whole piece here, but you can read this and you can go watch Jordan's live stream. He did a good job. He interviewed some members of the People's Party and aired their grievances. So I would definitely, if you're interested in this a little bit at all, it's definitely fun to listen to on 2X them complain about Nick Brana. And I mean, again, I told you so. I told everyone so. The People's Party was a grift from the jump. I've heard people say force the vote's still valid though. I've heard that people anti-People's Party now, but they still think force the vote was a valid. I'm sorry, again, the whole thing was a grift. The whole thing was a fundraising scheme. You got had, you got took. There was no such thing as the Force the Vote movement. The March for Medicare for All was a flop. It's all fundraising. It's all so that they can get money to go on vacation. What do you think the March for Medicare for All was? It was an excuse for Nick Brana to get a bunch of money, fundraising, so he could get a bunch of money and go on vacation. He went to New York. He went to D.C. He went on fucking vacation. Who knows what restaurants he was going to? He was probably living the life, right? He was probably getting some really good fucking hotels. Again, this whole thing is a conspiracy theory designed to steal your money and funnel it into some guy who wants to have power and influence. And again, is also kind of a creep, by the way. So again, more info is going to be coming out about this very soon. Well, I don't know about very soon. I don't know, but I'm going to be following this one as it comes out. So again, People's Party, not so good. And again, they've been saying, oh, we're going to run candidates in 2020. That was the original grift. We're going to have candidates ready for 2020. That didn't happen. They had no candidate in 2020. And then when they did their 2020 People's Party convention, they're like, we're going to get candidates in 2022 and 2024. We're going to shake things up. Now we're finding out whenever people did try to get local candidates, step one of getting a local candidate to run on the People's Party ticket is to make the party exist in the state. Whenever people would try to do that, Nick Brana would step in and say, no. So now they're not running any candidates in 2022. I guarantee you, assuming there still is a People's Party in 2024, Jimmy Dore is going to be the presidential candidate. I'm telling you this now. It could maybe be I guarantee you it's going to be like Jimmy Dore and Jackson Hinkle, or like Jimmy Dore and one of these other grifter loser morons. They're going to run for president on the People's Party ticket. It's going to be embarrassing. But I mean, can they even make it that long? There are hemorrhaging support right now, even from their most loyal supporters. Again, even the Vanguard, a huge Force the Vote conspiracy podcast, was super, super, super disillusioned with them after these reports started coming out. So again, I view that as like a bear weather for how this is going. But also, we should talk about what some other people are saying in regards to the People's Party. And so we have Jackson Hinkle. Again, this guy is like a serial loser. Not very intelligent. Again, he's come out. He's identified himself as a social conservative. Now, again, what are conservatives doing in this country? They are banning trans people from existing, proposing bills that basically ban all transgender-related healthcare services. They are banning abortion everywhere they can. Again, Jackson Hinkle is a self-identified social conservative. And so he was asked about what's going on with the People's Party hemorrhaging support, them firing almost their entire board, the sexual harassment allegations, and not great when it comes to this response. So let's listen.
Whatever the deal is with Nick, there's definitely factions of MPP leaving over convoy. MPP is calling supporters white supremacists, conspiracy theorists, anti-vaxxers.
And the party is better off without them. If they want the movement for a People's Party to be some liberal social circle of like progressive dipshits that went to Ivy League schools and adhered to woke identitarian politics and want to cancel people, by all means, leave the party. That's not what it is. This is a populist party about uniting the left and the right, and that's what it's going to accomplish. And anyone who wants to turn it into something else can go fuck themselves right over back into the Democratic Party.
Okay, so again, Nick Brana is an anti-vaxxer. He came out with this big statement about being anti-vax, how it's actually the scientific position is for no one to get vaccinated. That's Nick Brana's opinion. Again, get your fucking vaccine, dumbass. What are you, fucking 6 years old? Apparently not, because even 6-year-olds are getting their fucking vaccine. So these people are fucking stupid. But again here, this guy, this weird, like, again, this is a self-described social conservative. So he identifies as a conservative here when it comes to social issues. Why? Okay, you want to have uniting between the left and the right, except that uniting involves sexual harassers, quote, woke identity politics. If you're trying to have a left-right, union, shouldn't you have room in the tent for, quote, woke identity politics? Also, it's woke identity politics for someone to not be a fan of sexual harassment and anti-vax conspiracy theories. What? Again, what are these motherfuckers talking about? They're crazy. Again, Jackson Hinkle is just some guy who his only goal is power and influence, right? He doesn't care about facts. He doesn't care about being fair. He doesn't care about he's not anti-war. I was considering talking about this, but Jackson Hinkle went on Russia Today to talk about how Russia actually ended the war. By invading Ukraine, they ended the war in this guy's little fantasy world. So again, this guy is nothing but a propagandist. He is a news actor. That's what this guy is in the most definitive sense of the term. He is an actor. He is pretending to play a character. Again, 2 years ago, he was a die-hard blue no matter who Democrat. And again, you can go through political evolutions. That's fine. But I find it very interesting that as soon as he started getting a lot of money and power and fame from the People's Party grift, that he started to just like march in lockstep with what all the People's Party grifters were doing. Again, he's a self-described social conservative. He doesn't care about black people. He called black people woke in another video. He called trans people a distraction from real issues. Fuck actually the most marginalized people, the people that you claim to care about, the workers, the downtrodden. Fuck the ones. They're the most marginalized. I only care about the white working class. Again, this is what the People's Party is made out of. A bunch of grifters, money-hungry, power-hungry losers who just like people paying attention to them. And unfortunately, for y'all, I am paying attention to him right now, which means that y'all have to as well. And I apologize for that. But again, this guy's stance on Nick Brana being an anti-democratic, lunatic, dictator, tyrant in his party, Jackson Hinkle's in favor of that. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Like, I don't see how you can spin firing half the board for investigating you being a sexual harasser creep. I don't see how you can spin that to be a good thing. And also this liberal social circle. Like, anyone who has a skin color that's, like, slightly darker than him is, like, an Ivy League educated social, like, champagne liberal. Like, every black person is woke, identitarian. Every, like, gay person is, like, a woke liberal who has got, like, a fucking 6 yachts and, like, 15, like, fucking, you know what? I don't even know what the fuck that, like, how can, and how do people, 600 viewers, like, how do people watch this? They're dumb. They're just fucking stupid. But again, I just want to be very honest. Again, folks, I was right. A lot of y'all were wrong. And that's fine. I got a comment. In fact, you know what? I'm going to read this comment live. I'm going to read this comment live that I got last night from someone. That was really good. I'm looking for it. I can't believe that I used to fight with people on Twitter, you included, defending the People's Party and Jimmy Dore. I'm ashamed to admit it, but hey, at least I snapped out of it. So hopefully that means I'm not too stupid. Lol. I got that comment yesterday that I really enjoyed. Again, people are waking up to this People's Party grift. People are waking up to the Jackson Hinkle grift, the Jimmy Dore grift. Again, it's all part of a fundraising scheme. They want to demotivate you, stop you from organizing politically, and instead turn you into a money machine. You go to work and you give them your money because that's what they want. They don't give a fuck about your rights. They don't give a fuck about marginalized people. They don't give a fuck about poor people. They want to keep the poor people poor because then they can keep siphoning money away from them. The more money that they can siphon away from people, the better, because again, why would a poor person need money for themselves? Why would a poor person donate to a candidate that might actually do something to help them? Why would a poor person donate to a mutual aid fund or a charity when they can donate to Jackson Hinkle and Nick Brana and Jimmy Dore? So, you know, what are you gonna do? There you go. It's no good, folks. No good. Not good. So, there you go. There's your internet drama updates, folks. My favorite kinds of updates. Love to update people on internet drama. I'm sinking into this chair. I gotta maintain my battle stance here. Ooh. Again, folks. New fashion here. This is called the double cardigan. Look at this. So I've got this one, right, and then I've got this one. This is like, you know, I'm looking like a cartoon character. I'm so fashionable. Look at that. Like, I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just that good. Okay? Got the double cardigan. And I'm not doing that because it's cold. I don't have the double cardigan because it's cold. It's not cold. I'm fine. I'm doing it purely for fashion-related issues. But also, I got a show here, folks. Doing a show. So I'm going to go into this, like, Tucker thing that's been going on. Reminder, folks, Patreon. Give me money on Patreon. Patreon, Cash App. We got to support these big tech companies. Give me money on Cash App. PayPal. We all love PayPal. Got to support big tech. PayPal, give me money. Go, go. All right, and now that you're done giving me money, let's go into the cringe. Let's get into the cringe. So the other day, I mentioned on my stream that Tucker Carlson went on this rampage about AOC, calling AOC a white ski bunny, which I don't even, like, that sounds like a pornographic phrase. But either way, you know, I had to look up ski bunny, and apparently it is porn. There is ski bunny porn, but two, it means like someone who skis, I guess, like, and is a woman or something. Do I take crypto donos? Yes. Just DM me with whatever currency, and I'll send you my address. So anyway, so he was talking about that, and AOC responded saying, "Isn't it weird that, like, this guy is sexual, like a grown man on the most popular cable news show in the world, sexualizes me on a daily basis. It's weird and it's creepy." That's what AOC said, and Tucker Carlson responds in a honestly, very strange response here. But again, there's a domino effect here that I want to talk about. But first, we got to start with this.
So we broke down on Friday and reviewed the new book about Sandy Cortez, the entitled Congresswoman from Westchester, which was ridiculous. And of course, it was hagiographic, doesn't begin to describe it. It compared her to Jesus. And of course, she responded to it because it was about her, and anything about her immediately crosses her radar, and she can't resist either. So
I wish that were true, because I talk about AOC on my show all the time. I love AOC. I'm an AOC fan girl. I have been following AOC since early 2018. I love AOC. Huge AOC fan. In fact, I was thinking of changing my username to AOC Superfan 531. That's still pending. I'm sending that to the investors for the show, and they're gonna write off on that. I wish that she had, like, her name, like, pop up and she was super obsessed with anyone that ever talked about her, because then maybe she'd come on my show. So can we get AOC on the show? Like, what needs to happen for AOC to come on the show? That's my question. My second question is, last time I checked, Tucker Carlson is the most popular cable news show in the country. Is that not true? So it's not, I don't know, like, it's like, it would be like if Biden was talking about me or something. It's like, I'd probably respond to that It's the goddamn president of the United States. Tucker Carlson arguably has more power than Biden because he controls media to such an extent that he's got like 30 to 40% of the country that will do literally whatever he wants. You know, you can make a claim that he's got more power than a lot of other people in government. He's definitely got more power than AOC. AOC is one member of Congress. Tucker Carlson has infinitely more power than AOC probably will ever have. But let's continue.
He gets on Twitter and assumes her natural pose, which is victimhood. So here's the most powerful people in the country telling you that she's oppressed. She's an oppressed person of color. Right. Quote, I genuinely want to know why Tucker Carlson is allowed, paid to engage in clear, targeted, libelous harassment that endangers people and drives so many violent threats that people have to fundraise for their own safety. Why should they have to pay for his harassment? Make it make sense.
What is this like, I'm sorry, but like, what is this? What is this? Like, this weird, like, what are you doing, bro?
Sense. Again, note the narcissism, but note above all, here is once more one of the most powerful people in the United States of America.
Again, Tucker Carlson, given the fact that he is on the most popular cable news show and is a multimillionaire, like, trust fund baby, again, he is significantly, it's hard to even describe how much more power he has compared to AOC. Like, let's just be honest here.
The world's most powerful country telling you that she is a victim. She is a lawmaker, but she's oppressed. This is the posture they all assume. It's passive aggression. It's feline. There's something especially...
Feline? What? What is this guy talking about, man? AOC is feline? Like, again, with these, like, weird, like hentai tags. Like, that's fucking strange.
Disgusting and dishonest about it. But here's the most interesting part. So Sandy Cortez talks about how she's threatened and she's got to pay for protection. Well, taxpayers fund her ample bodyguards, of course, even as she defunds the cops for everybody else.
Okay, so taxpayers pay for her bodyguards. That's true. As she defunds the police for everyone else. Like, I know, like, he's just saying words, right? Like, he's just saying words. Like, none of this means anything. But, like, think about it. AOC defunded the police for everyone else? What? Like, what? Like, okay, let's assume, like, defund the police was such a big movement. It wasn't, like, 18% support. It was, like, 80% support. And everyone defunded the police everywhere. Even then, AOC wouldn't have, like, be responsible. But that didn't happen. Police have gotten more funding in most cities in this country. So police have been, Biden 3x'd police funding. So, what? What?
Protection, well, taxpayers fund her ample bodyguards, of course, even as she defunds the cops for everybody else. But the truth is, some people do need to fundraise for protection in the society that she created, where political differences can invite violence. Those people who do need to fundraise for protection would include, say, the Canadian truckers, or the January 6th defendants, or Kyle Rittenhouse, to name just a few examples. But they're...
Okay, first of all, what does AOC have to do with any... Did AOC tell people to storm the Capitol on January 6th, 2021? AOC was out there on January 5th giving tours, just like Lauren Boebert, right? Telling people, this is the panic room, this is where we hide, here are the secret tunnels, here where you should plant the bomb, right? Huh? What? What? Okay, so AOC hurt the truckers in Canada? She's a Congress member from the U.S. How? What? It doesn't make any sense. Kyle Rittenhouse. What did AOC have to do with Kyle Rittenhouse? What? Like, what?
They're not able to do that anymore. Why? Because people...
What do you mean? Okay, so Kyle Rittenhouse isn't allowed to fundraise? The guy's a multi-fucking-millionaire because he shot and killed Black Lives Matter protesters. He's doing just fine. What is this guy talking about?
Do that anymore. Why? Because people like Sandy Cortez agitate to choke off their fundraising. This is an attempt to suppress their speech and put them in danger.
What? Okay. So AOC criticizing Kyle Rittenhouse is, quote, an attempt to cut off their fundraising, which leads them to be in danger, which means AOC is basically Hitler and she needs to be stopped at all costs? Like, what?
So if there is a victim of the system, a system that she helped create and supports,
AOC helped create the system of government in the United States. A 2-term member of Congress. It was the chief architect of the United States of America. Again, what?
it's not her. It's the people who actually need protection but can't raise money. They always accuse you of what they themselves are doing.
Folks, there is so much going on here. Like, that's the thing. It's like, it's just like they just throw shit after shit after shit and see what sticks. AOC created the United States government. Like, what is, like, she created, like, leftism? What? What? Like, I'm sorry. What? Like how, like, if you want to criticize AOC, feel free. Like, I'll criticize her too. She's not coming on my show. What the heck? But, like, she created the U.S. government, right? She defunded the police everywhere. I wish AOC defunded the police. Please defund the police, AOC. Please, I'm begging you. It's like, what the fuck, man? Again, they're lunatics. Tucker Carlson is a lunatic. In order to support him at all, in order to even think that this guy might have anything positive to say, you've got to be brain dead and a dumb fuck face. Again, only the lowest of the IQist motherfuckers would ever listen to this guy and go like, oh yeah.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
I might have been really loud because, you know, this clip was soft, so I had my gain filter up. But lowest IQ, folks. I don't know what to tell you. Now, again, folks, I'm talking about the lowest IQ people support and listen to Tucker Carlson. So that means we're going to segue in to Kim Iverson. So Kim Iverson, host on the neo-fascist web program Rising. I honestly, like, let's just watch.
You could only agree with her or shut up. You certainly aren't allowed to make fun of her. If you make fun of her, it's violence, and you're a predator. This is exactly the mentality of those who stormed into Charlie Hebdo and massacred the journalists who dared to make fun of the Prophet Muhammad. AOC has a choice to make. She can
the clip starts off in the middle of some bullshit here. Okay. So Tucker Carlson, the most popular cable news show host in the world, is the little guy. AOC, a 2-term member of Congress, right, who was almost killed on January 6, 2021, right, is just making it all up. But not only is she making it up, but she's directly inspiring mass murders. Huh? What? Tucker Carlson, by the way, has been cited in multiple right-wing mass shooting manifestos, including the El Paso shooter. So, what? Has AOC been cited positively in any mass shooting manifestos? I would love to see those. But again, Kim Iverson, again, I was talking about only those with the lowest IQ would ever support or endorse Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is just lying through his teeth. He's being paid to manipulate stupid motherfuckers. like Kim Iverson.
You can only agree with her or shut up. You certainly aren't allowed to make fun of her. If you make fun of her, it's violence, and you're a predator. This is exactly the mentality of those who stormed into Charlie Hebdo and massacred the journalists who dared to make fun of the Prophet Muhammad. AOC has a choice to make. She can either take a stand to protect our First Amendment and journalists' right to criticize and make fun of political leaders, including her, or she can continue to influence her millions of followers into believing the First...
Like, okay, so she has millions of followers. I love, why can't these motherfuckers just tell it how it is? Even if you don't like AOC for whatever reason, you want to make fun of her for whatever reason, why do they do this fucking lying bullshit? Tucker Carlson has the most popular cable news program in American history. Yet it's AOC that has millions of followers. Yes, she does have millions of followers. Guess who has millions more followers? Tucker fucking Carlson. What on earth?
First Amendment needs amending away from free speech and instead towards what she considers right speech. And that, to me, guys, is the biggest issue with this squabble between them. It's, you know, Tucker does this Tucker stuff.
Oh, Tucker does Tucker stuff. Inciting an insurrection, that's just Tucker stuff. Lying incessantly over and over and over and over again on cable television, it's just Tucker stuff. Interviewing mass murderers like Kyle Rittenhouse, it's just Tucker stuff, bro. Just doing some Tucker stuff, man. Just tucking it up. AOC responding, though? Evil. Fascism. The First Amendment's under attack. What?
You know, I agree with her. I don't think that's really news, and nor do I think it really belongs anywhere like that. But the real issue for me is the influence she then has and what she's been, how she's been able to shape the minds of many young people who adore her, who follow her, and they think she's right all the time.
What? Like, what? What? Again, Tucker Carlson has directly been cited as an influence for multiple mass shooters. Multiple mass shooters have been inspired by Tucker Carlson. But it's AOC who's poisoning the minds of young people. Huh? Huh? What?
And then when she says we need to go after misinformation and we need to crack down on this violent speech, that to me is a giant problem. She's to me very, very scary.
AOC is scary. Ryan Grimm is just like... Ryan Grimm is making the best face.
Only the really... I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
AOC is scary. If you think AOC is scary... I don't know. I don't know what I could say that would be an accurate and adequate ending to that sentence, Pilisk.
For those reasons, for her influence.
I mean, I do think there's far too much of an impulse on the left towards censorship, but I also don't think that criticizing Tucker Carlson over this is remotely comparable to storming into Charlie Hebdo and slaughtering journalists there. I don't think those are anywhere near.
It's the mentality. No, but it's the mentality.
Oh, it's the mentality, right? Yeah. The mentality. That's right. Again, Tucker Carlson has directly inspired multiple mass shootings. Like, if anyone is getting a mentality of violence and wanting to kill 12 people, I don't know, how many people died in the El Paso Walmart shooting? Does anyone want to tell me? Does anyone have any answers for that?
Mentality of you cannot make fun of. You're not allowed to go after and tease, because if you do...
Tease? If Tucker Carlson just went up there and said, oh, Sandy's so silly with her little college dance, and oh, Sandy's so silly, look at her live stream and how she said this silly thing. Not, oh, Sandy's destroying the world, she's defunding your police, you're all gonna die because of her. You can make fun of AOC. Oh, AOC she's stinky. Oh, look at her. She's so stinky. Smell her. She's stinky. She didn't take a shower in 3 days. She's so stinky. That's different compared to, oh my God, she's defending your police and she's going to kill you with woke ideology and she's censoring your ability to fundraise after you kill multiple people. Again, what? Like, if Tucker Carlson were really just making fun of her. Oh, look at her dress. Oh, look at her shoes. I mean, even then, that's weird. It's strange, right? But, like, I would be far less critical of him if that was it. But he's not doing that. He is just lying and making it seem like she's a dictator tyrant, which, again, Kim Iverson is echoing here. Kim Iverson is echoing those exact same lies and just saying, oh, we're just making fun of her, bro. We're just making fun of her.
Then it's violence, it's dangerous, and it has to be stopped.
Okay, if somebody, like, let's say Tucker Carlson was on a Zoom call at any company, and a woman on the Zoom call said that they were at home alone, and he said on that Zoom call that, oh, wow, that sounds like an invitation for a booty call. That's sexual harassment. Like, that is. Like, it's inappropriate. It is harassment, and he's doing it on national television.
But to a public figure, right?
Okay, fine. But it's fine for her to point out that that's sexual harassment, and it's gross, and it's creepy.
Well, then he sexually harasses Andrew Cuomo all the time.
I love that other guy who's just like, well, is it really sexual harassment if she's, like, famous, man? What's the cutoff? Like, as soon as you get 1 million followers, you can no longer be raped or sexually assaulted or harassed? Like, what's the cutoff? So 1 million followers, you can no longer be catcalled. 2 million, you can no longer be sexually harassed. 3 million, you can't be sexually assaulted. 5 million, you can't be raped anymore. Like, what is it's just making fun of you. Like, when I, like, tell people to go harass you, I'm just, when I tell people to sexualize you at all costs, at all times, right? It's just, I'm making fun of you. What? What? And again, like, I don't know. I really, just for the record, you can sexually harass me whenever you want. Feel free to do so. But also, like, again, this, like, Kim Iverson is dumber than dumb. Like, we need to invent a new word where it's like, you think of someone who's dumb and you think, like, well, I'm dumb, right? We need to think of someone like, I don't know, like, we need like jum. Is jum a word? Jumb. Because that's Kim Iverson. She's jum. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to, like, I need you to understand. Like, this isn't just stupid. This is like, imagine actually believing this. Like, imagine actually, like, well, AOC's evil, but Tucker Carlson, he's just being Tucker. Inciting mass murders. Oh, it's just Tucker Carlson. Oh, he's just tucking it up. What? Again, I have to agree with Donald Trump on this one.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Not good, folks. It's got a show going on, folks. Doing a show here. Rising fucking sucks. Tyrannical rule, that's true. All right, folks. So while we're on the subject of Tucker Carlson, who's, I guess I've been the theme of this show is Tucker is a fascist. So Tucker Carlson was recently talking about AOC is inspiring violence by criticizing people online, and right after that, the day after that, Tucker Carlson has an actual murderer on his program. And again, so Tucker Carlson, again, did a show the day before this talking about how AOC criticizing someone on Twitter is a free speech violation, how she wants to censor everyone and become a tyrant and defund the police or whatever, right? Now, Tucker Carlson, a day later, brings on a murderer to whine about free speech. Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer. Sue me, bitch. I fucking dare you.
Have to go through what I went through.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to imprison you for the rest of your life. It wasn't coverage, it was advocacy. You have a lot of potential targets to sue yourself. Will you be suing any of these news organizations, and if so, when?
Why would Kyle Rittenhouse be suing these news organizations? In their opinion, for lying. For slander, in their opinion. So, but also AOC criticizing you for sexual harassment, that's tyrannical. You are literally bringing on someone who murdered Black Lives Matter protesters on video to whine about people being mean to him. He wants to sue people over speech. You're bringing someone on who wants to sue people over speech. The day before, he whined about anyone criticizing cable news wants to ban free speech. Now, criticizing cable news and literally wanting to send people to jail for speech, that's a good thing now? What? Can we talk about Kyle's tie, by the way? What the fuck is that?
Well, right now we're looking at quite a few politicians, celebrities, athletes. Whoopi Goldberg's on the list. She called me a murderer.
Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer. He shot 3 people and killed 2. He is a murderer. Sue me, bitch. Go fuck yourself.
After I was acquitted by a jury of my peers.
A jury of my peers? Who talks like that? I was acquitted by a jury of my peers. Just for the sake of comparison, right? Just for throwing this out there. You know, a lot of people got acquitted by a jury of their peers, right? You know, white people who lynched black people, for example, in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, were acquitted by a jury of their peers. Does that mean they didn't lynch those black people? No, it just means they weren't sent to prison for it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. A jury, like, that's not a defense. The justice system sucks dick in hell. That's my defense. What? Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer. Murderer. Sue me, bitch. I dare you.
She went on to still say that. And there's others. Don't forget about Sank from the Young Turks. He called me a murderer.
Sank. You can tell this guy's just reading off a list. He doesn't give a shit. Yeah, everyone knows Sank.
Murderer before verdict and continues to call me a murderer.
Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer. Prove me wrong.
Interesting. And what about the people who called you groundlessly a white supremacist, which makes it pretty hard to get a job for the rest of your life if you're a white supremacist? Will you be responding to them?
Absolutely. We are going to hold everybody who's lied about me accountable, such as everybody who's lied, called me a white.
This is a great sound drop potential, but I don't know if I want to elevate Kyle to that. But okay, listen to this again.
Accountable? Absolutely. We are going to hold everybody who's lied about me accountable, such as everybody who's lied, called me a white supremacist.
We're going to hold everyone who's lied about me accountable, such as everyone who's lied. Yo, again, dumber than dumb. You are a crybaby, little whiny, little fucking bitch boy loser. Only a loser threatens to sue someone over speech. A fucking loser. You are a loser. You're a loser, Kyle Rittenhouse. A crybaby, fucking hopscotch playing fucking loser.
Supremacist.
Yeah.
They're all going to be held accountable, and we're going to handle them in a courtroom.
Kyle Rittenhouse, I appreciate your announcing that tonight.
Again, you have to be a dumb bitch loser, crybaby to sue someone over speech. I'm sorry. Also, by the way, Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer and a white supremacist. Now, again, if Kyle Rittenhouse, I'm going to say this. If Kyle Rittenhouse wants to come on my show and we can debate about how he's like either a white supremacist or not a white supremacist, I'm open to that conversation. But until then, I'm going to say he's a white supremacist. If he wants to come on my show and correct the record, feel free to do so, Kyle. But until then, you are a murderer, you're a scumbag, you're a crybaby, you're a loser. Go whine and go to the principal's office and report someone for being mean to you at the fucking playground at recess, you dumb bitch baby boy motherfucker. That's all I have to say. It's all a pump and dump scheme for these motherfuckers, man. Let me tell you. Anyway, folks, that's the show. Well, it's a show. It's a show. It's a show, folks. Speaking of shows, you should show me your appreciation and support. So I'm drinking a seltzer here, like this I was, by giving me money on Cash App, PayPal, or Patreon. I will promise you nothing other than it will make me happy, it will fuel my drug addictions, and I will continue to put out content every day. But I mean, let's be honest, they'll do that anyway. So, but anyway, does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns? Does anyone, like, I wanna start like a segment where, like, you know, people give me their question, comments, and concerns. I want people like, but also, I want people to like have like a notepad that they open. Oh, here are my questions for Andrea, and then they go to the notepad, and then like they hit me, you know. So maybe I'll do like a big Q&A portion. You know, it's free content. I get to monetize myself. And I get to outsource the work and labor to the chat. And I get to get them to give me money as it's happening. I mean, that's a win-win-win-win as far as I'm concerned. It's a win-ass motherfucking win. Folks, I want to give an update. Q, is the micro-dosing experiment still ongoing? So my experiment, I have results of my experiment that I've yet to tally. And this goes into what I was about to say anyway, so that's a good question. Folks, I have been going through a little bit of a crisis of some kind over the last couple of days, including yesterday. A little bit, you know, just throwing that out there. So I apologize if the show quality has been less than good over the last couple of days. I also have not been uploading the videos as often, the clips and stuff. I am going to try to get all of that done today. I got most of it done yesterday, but I'm going to try to finish that up as well as do today's stuff as well. I'm posting through it, folks. I am posting through it. So you know, is the experiment still ongoing? It is in a roundabout way. It is no longer just contained to a week, however. But I had really great results that I would like to share last week. But you know, I want to do more of that before before I make any definitive statements. Hearing you call Kyle a killer, I didn't call him a killer, I called him a murderer, to be specific, which is a legal term. But yeah, there you go. Get out your notepads. There you go. Michigan has a legislation to legalize shrooms on the state level. That's correct. But again, also, what is correct as well is that there are a list of cities in the state of Michigan that have already, on a city level, decriminalized psychedelic drugs. So you can look that list up online. You can see that list. You can go there right now, and then you're good. So, like, that's just throwing that out there. Clock Tower 2 thoughts. I've never played the Clock Tower series. It's my big regret. Though I have played Haunting Ground, aka Haunting Dog. I have Haunting Ground on PlayStation 2. What is that game worth now? That game is one of those games that, like, exploded in fucking value. What is Haunting Ground worth now? On PS2, folks. Yeah, y'all invest in cryptocurrency. I invest in PlayStation games. Haunting Ground, PS2. I got this game for $70. Let's see what it's worth. Oh, that's not real. I got this game for $70. Let's see what it's worth now. It's a good game, but it's based on the Clock Tower series. Wow. $475 fucking dollars. Is that a joke? That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, love PlayStation. But I've never played the other Clock Tower games. If I played Rule of Rose, I have not. And I do not have that one. It's great to try to get celebs like Nina Turner and AOC on AIA, but how about some rising stars like Angel Montalvo? I'm sorry. I just watched an episode of King of the Hill. I've been watching King of the Hill lately. I talked about this. And I watched the episode where Hank Hill is hiring someone and a woman applies for the job and Hank Hill is like, her name is Maria Montalvo. And the way he says Montalvo is so incredible to me. And now you're telling me that there's someone named Angel Montalvo that you want me to have on the show. I will gladly have Angel Montalvo and Jessica Cisneros on my program at any time. I don't know how to organize that. So, Mila, I might be just giving you the baton. Maria Montalvo. Hold up. Is that YouTube clipped? Is there, like, can I see this? Oh, there's no clip that's, like, named Maria Montalvo. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so funny. If you can get Angel Montalvo on the show, Mila, I would appreciate that. Also, I'm probably ruining my chances by making fun of their last name, but I'm not making fun of it. It's just that, you know, I'm watching King of the Hill. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, but Montalvo. Like, I don't know, like, if I could do a whole show without referencing King of the Hill, but maybe I'll try. I will promise. I will try. I'm not ruining my chances. Okay. I mean, I'm sure they've gotten it. I'm sure someone else has said that before. But anyway, also, folks, doing a show. In fact, I did a show. But anyway, you know, I've been a little behind on a lot of things lately. Many things. And also my crises have been exacerbated yesterday. I got some news that I don't like. It's bad, even. And so, trying my best. I'm going to be doing my best to continue posting through it, folks. And so, please bear with me, if I'm a little, Maxie. He's having a nightmare. Max! Maxie! Max! Oh, there he is. Maxie, come here. Let me get him on the program. Let me show off this dog. I got a dog. Maxie, come here. Hold up. Come on, Max. Come on, puppy. Look at this dog. Oh, I got trash on it. Look at this dog. Max! This dog is crazy. He's out of control. Whoa. You can't even see him yet. He's not visible. Whoa. Come on, Maxie. Come on. It's on my head. It's on my head. You want to get the ball? It's on my head. Uh-oh. This dog's being a little strange. He's a strange dog. Come on, Maxie. Come on. Look at him. He's great. You can't even see him. Wah! He's making the funniest face in the world. He's like so mad at this ball. He's angry. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this ball. Nope. There he goes. Anyway, so that's Max the dog. Max the dog! Angel Montalvo. Sorry. Gave me his phone number last night. He's super cool. Super smart and super cool. My dog came over to see what's up. Hello, dog. I hate this view. We want Max. Don't worry. Max will be making a return to being, you know, the star of the show very soon. All right. So that's the program. That is the show. Thank you all for watching. Again, I would like to, fashion icon. First of all, beautiful washed hair. Let's be honest, folks. Beautiful washed hair. I took a shower yesterday and I washed my hair, so it's, I'm using shampoo and conditioner. I'm conditioning. So it's got beautiful washed hair. Glasses that definitely need to be cleaned, but I don't think that shows up on the webcam, so we're good. And then we've got the double cardigan fashion icon here. 1 and then 2. And again, it's not because I'm cold. I am not cold, okay? But what I am is fashionable. And on that note, I'm going to be leaving the program today. Thank you for observing. And that's it.
Unbelievable. The vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind.
There was no response. They didn't have. There was no response. 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 They didn't have one for that. No, it's very sad. Very sad.
That isn't what it meant.
Well, what does it mean then?
It meant that it's indicative of low-resolution thinking.
There was no response. There was no response.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.